Okay, happy Monday. Happy Roho Monday. So someone asked me yesterday, just a friend, I mean, we're just having conversations, and they said, I'm curious, over all the times that you saw, hey, this isn't working, this isn't a good relationship, or I wouldn't call it that situationship. What made you decide to stay as long as you did? And I started going through my list of stuff. I just don't want to. All the horror stories around online dating. I don't want to go through that. I don't want to get to know somebody all over again. God, I don't want to have to move. I mean, all of these things that I was listing that was like, I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. So basically, the short story is I stayed to avoid. I didn't stay to build or to I stayed to avoid. It just felt like it was so much. This house, like my creature comforts, I just didn't that was it. It was not at no point did I say, "Oh, well because he did because he was." There was none of that. It was all I just get to avoid. And so part of the sorry y'all, I got something popped up on my screen. So part of the whole situation was based in I just got to avoid stuff by staying here. I got to not have to be responsible for moving, not have to be responsible for getting to know somebody or accountable to anyone else, any new drama. Like this was a devil I knew, and I was comfortable with this devil. I had learned to master and navigate this devil in a way where I convinced myself that it was tolerable. But at what point did I ever say, wow, I can't wait to have a tolerable life? I can't wait to, have this mediocre, just grand mediocre experience. Like at no point, did I say that. So it became this thing where I see a lot. I'm just going to say it. I see a lot where we, present company included, already know we are shrinking. We already know we are self silencing. We already know we are dimming our light to make others feel comfortable. We see it, we see it, we see it, and we just choose to pretend we don't. So, it's with everything, every choice, every situation, everything that we do, there is both a payoff and a cost. And so I decided to focus on the payoffs instead of the costs until the costs became too great and I could not do it anymore. So some of the questions, so I start to like really go into this place of like, why am I pretending not to know what's happening? Why am I pretending that this is better than that? Because I don't even know what that is. And that's part of the fears because we don't know what that is, right? But there's also this piece where I believe everyone watching this knows that they have a point of power somewhere. I don't think most of us feel like we have zero power anywhere in our life. Some people do, for sure. And I don't want to be dismissive. For the most part, most of us feel like I do have power when I want to use it or how I want to use it. And, but we know ourselves to be people who can find some power. So there's a pretense and a payoff for not standing in power and not choosing power in situations where we're not happy. And I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about jobs, I'm talking about friendships, I'm talking about decisions that we have to make. Like, why do we pretend that that we can't choose to be powerful? Right? The second is let's really get clear about what you're sacrificing, what the cost is. Let's be clear about that. joy, I'm speaking for myself, wealth, health, peace, 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 all in the name of being comfortable or feeling safe. These last few years have been the most uncomfortable years of my life, but I have chosen to believe that I am more comfortable here than uncomfortable dealing with the fear of the unknown, right? The other question is, okay, so who's benefiting from you staying small? Because it is not you. It is not me. Who benefits? When I stay small, somebody's benefiting from that. And so, who is it? And why do we tend to center what their benefits instead of our costs, right? Whoever's benefiting from you staying small has the power, has your power. And finally, I just invite us all, and this is where I got to, like, ooh, what would be possible if I stopped betraying myself? What would be possible if I bet on myself? What would be possible if I centered myself in my dreams and my vision and just stepped into it and just know that everything's going to be okay? What's possible if I do that, right? So I'm just sending love today on if you're in a situation, like I am coming out of, where I just pretended that things were good enough for who? That situation is not good enough for me. It stopped being good enough for me, right? And so I got to do da, 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 da. Okay. So let's talk about pretense. Let's talk about, what we need to think about. Let's talk about what it is that we need to know today. Unravel yourself. This is the first time that one came up. I literally had to unravel myself to get to a place where I could make the decision, make the choice to leave. So I allow myself to unravel the complexities within, embracing each layer of my being with compassion and understanding. So unraveling is a powerful and transformative process essential for moving through significant life changes. When faced with a challenging transition, such as ending a relationship or leaving a job, the act of unraveling involves methodically disentangling the complexity and emotions tied to the situation. This process allows you to understand and release what no longer serves you, ultimately paving the way for your own growth and renewal. Here is the affirmation. Untangle yourself from the chaotic energy of others. Seek clarity and simplicity by letting go and waiting for the next steps to appear. Unravel, unravel, unravel. Part of that unraveling is going to be very clear that you're going to have to look honestly about where you've been pretending, where you have given up, where you have been afraid, where you have centered somebody else, where you've given up your power. All of those things are part of the unraveling process, right? But on the other side of that, once all the pieces are unraveled and untangled, you'll probably pick up like 2 or 3 and go, yeah, these are the ones that go with me. All that other stuff, mm-mm. So that's it for today, y'all. Happy Monday.